Welcome to the Derek Creason Show. This is episode 19, and we are live. We are live streaming on Rumble, YouTube, and Locals. So we are doing live streaming now for fun and having some fun with it. So give me a break. Let me know what you think. If you see any big mistakes, errors, all kinds of stuff. I'm really learning as I go, but it's a lot of fun to learn. And the only way to get better is to keep doing it. So you can come fumble along with me. All right, so coming up on today's show, we'll talk news and we'll talk TV shows. So as always, I welcome your feedback, your questions, your suggestions. Derek at derekcreason.com is the email address. At Derek Creason on X, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble. Head over to my website, which looks like this, and go check it out, where you can sign up for my newsletter, and so you can stay up to date with what's going on with me. And then lastly, my book 20-something is available on Amazon, so go check it out. You can get it on paperback or Kindle. Alrighty. So, recent life updates. Today is March 24th, Monday, March 24th. What have I been up to lately? I have been working out a lot, 4, 5, 6 days a week. It just depends on the week. Last week I hit 6 days. This week I'm going to maybe hit 5. We'll see. I still got to work out later tonight. It's actually pretty late and I'm already tired. So, I'm going to try really hard to get down there and do it. But I'll talk more about working out and fitness stuff maybe on Friday in my fitness segment if I get to that. So I'll do that sometime in an upcoming episode. And what else did I do? We spent the weekend visiting family multiple times on Friday night and Saturday. Went to visit family, so we played board games with the kids. Been doing all kinds of stuff with that. Family, eating lots of food. I've been learning a lot and testing a lot of the streaming stuff. So for every live episode you see on here somewhere, I've got probably 2 to 5 episodes of private test streams to all these different platforms where totally fumbling my way through it and trying to learn it. I talked about in my episode on Saturday this process I came up with to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps or whatever, and I've already totally changed and modified from that and found a better way to do stuff. So all right, are you craving more of the Derek Creason Show? Come join my Locals community and become an insider. It's totally free. It's like a VIP backstage pass. It's where I put out even more content for the show, including behind-the-scenes secrets, my unfiltered takes on the latest news and pop culture, sneak peeks at upcoming projects. I'll give you behind-the-scenes tech stuff. We got bonus episodes up here as well. Here's one of the bonus episodes. More bonus episodes are coming soon. So it's all about a way for you guys to interact, connect, hang out, see the creative process. I'll do my testing streams. I leave them up on Locals so you can come see those. Sometimes there's some funny jokes in there. It's just a cool community to build and support the show, and it's completely free and fun. And then if you want to support extra on top, there's always stuff in there for those people as well. But yeah, so come check it out. It is derekcreasonshow.locals.com. Come join inside today and get a ton of free content that you're not going to get anywhere else. So come and check it out. All right, let's jump into the show. All right, let's talk TV shows. Today is TV. So, what have I been watching lately? And it's actually been a long time since I've done an episode and talked about TV, so I've got 5, 6, 7 shows I want to talk about, but I'm only talking about 3 today, and then we'll put some more into another episode. So one of the things I've been watching lately is The Last Dance. I know I'm a little late behind. 2020, 2021, some documentary on Netflix about Michael Jordan and 1990s Bulls dynasty. And here we'll just show a little trailer of it for a second.
Michael Jordan and the Bulls changed the culture.
Dennis gave us that edge on the front line.
We were winning.
Congratulations. Kiss the trophy.
Jerry Krause said.
All right, so there's just a short little preview of it. So it is pretty interesting documentary. Obviously, what it's about. How far am I along? There's 10 episodes, so I have watched 5 or 6 of the episodes so far. I've still got a few more to go. What do I like? I like learning more of the story. Back in 1996, when they were coming up on their 6th championship, I was in 6th grade back then, and so I was aware of the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan due to the humongous pop culture phenomenon that he was back then, and I liked the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan like every little kid did because of all the commercials and the shoes and everything. I want to be like Mike, and so I still think he's one of the greatest basketball players ever, probably the best, and so this is just really interesting to me because I was aware of it, but I didn't know that much about it because I was obviously in 6th grade. And so I didn't pay that much attention to it. And so I'm like learning the backstory and the people, and it's just really interesting. And then you get to see a lot of 90s nostalgia and bad hair on these documentaries shows. So it is pretty good. So what would I rate it for that? I would give it 4 buckets of popcorn, which is on my scale, 4 is good. If you don't know my scale for movies and TV shows, it's on a previous episode. Go find it. I'll give you a spoiler. It's 5 is great, 4 is good, 3 is okay, 2 is meh, and 1 is bad. So I give this one 4 buckets of popcorn. It's good. All right, what else have I been watching? Also, I have been watching Shrinking. This is on Apple TV Plus, Apple TV Plus, Apple TV? I don't know. It's on Apple TV. There are 2 seasons of it, and this is about therapists, health therapists, and their lives, and then how messed up they are as well. And so, how far am I along? I'm on episode 7 or 8 of season 2. I think there's 4 or 5 more episodes left. I actually need to try to finish it up before I need to cancel Apple Plus because I try to rotate all my streaming services, so I'm not paying for 15 services at once. I'll get one for 2, 3, 4, 5 months and then watch everything on it that I can and then cycle off of it and wait for coupons and try to save some little bit of money here and there on the streaming services. So what do I like? I like how this show shows everyone's struggles from kids to grown-ups. Nobody's got their life figured out. And then generally that most people in general do poorly when they try to react to their lives. So, and it's also, but it's comedy, even though it's based in like real life. So parts of it are very funny. What don't I like? Sometimes this occasionally brings up familiar struggles that me or people that I'm close to struggle with. And that can kind of be a little triggering for people to watch and kind of set your own emotions off to be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's not cool. So, oh yeah, see if we can see a short clip here.
As therapist, I think we're all on a hot streak.
Whoa, you wearing your sex boxes at work for, you little freak?
Dress for the job you want.
Wow, you better slow that down.
So, pretty funny show. Definitely adult, rated R, TVMA. I don't know what you want to rate it, but I would rate it 4 buckets of popcorn as well. I would say that it is good. All right, coming up next, what else have I been watching? This is a show called Dr. Odyssey, and it's on ABC, so either on Hulu or Disney Plus of all places. What is it about? It is about a doctor on a cruise ship. It is Joshua Jackson, who's now, 40, 50 years old, and most of you remember him from Mighty Ducks or Dawson's Creek, among other things. He is now a doctor on a cruise ship. In this story, he was patient 0 with COVID, of all things. And it's basically about the weekly silliness that these characters encounter on a cruise ship. I'm 5 or 6 episodes into it. What do I like about it? It's obviously just a popcorn show. It doesn't take itself too seriously. The medical room on this cruise ship has gold-plated IVs, gold-plated beds, it's just absurd. And they did a surgery one time in the middle of a hurricane and waited for the waves and would turn the boat. And you're just like, this is ludicrous, would not ever work in real life. But they play it for serious, and it's so, sometimes that's just funny and fun. So that's something I don't like. Sometimes the stories are just beyond credibility, but it's just a popcorn show, so it's something to pass the time. We watch it about once every 2 weeks when we remember, like, oh yeah, let's watch that show and catch up on one episode. So what would I rate it? I would rate it 3 buckets of popcorn. It's just okay, but it's a good filler show and it takes up some time. So here, let's see if we can show a little clip of it.
Look at where we are.
That's the captain. There's their big boat they're on all the time.
Practicing medicine on the ocean. It's heaven on earth, right?
So, silly show. What do you think of these TV shows? Have you seen them? Have you watched them? What are you watching right now? Let me know what you've been doing, and we will talk more about TV in an upcoming show. All right, let's move on. What is coming up next? All right, coming up next, we will talk about the news. And so I should have hit the news transition and not the generic transition. So let's hit the news transition, and then we will go talk about the news. All right, let's talk about the news. So first up on the news, I came across this today, and I thought it was actually really interesting and somewhat positive. So who wants positivity in their news? So that's what we're going to do. Talk about that. So AI diagnoses major cancer with near perfect accuracy. This is down in Australia. It says one of Australia's most common gynecological cancers could be detected sooner and more accurately thanks to a specialized AI model, new research shows. Researchers from blah, blah, blah in Bangladesh, blah, blah, blah university, blah, 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 developed an AI model which can detect endometrial cancer with 99.26% accuracy. So that is the most common gynecological cancer in Australia and one of the most diagnosed cancers in Australian women, according to the Cancer Council. So, and it says the current accuracy using automated diagnosis was between 78 and 80%. This new model uses, I'm not even going to try to say that one, but microscopic images of tissues in the disease analysis, and then when it uses this model and it can look at those tissue samples and it can accurately diagnose them at a 99.26% accuracy. And so things like that are actually really cool because while doctors are great and they can do a lot, this is just going to keep helping them do better and also reinforce what they've found. And so that's kind of a cool enhancement along the way in medical stuff. And so that is very cool. All right, next up, it says on the news, I came across this. And that's my dog, if you heard him come in the house. The FBI has arrested 3 of the people on the top 10 most wanted list and a co-conspirator of the Abbey Gate bombing, which was in the Afghanistan withdrawal and killed 13 U.S. service members. And so this is a clip from Kash Patel talking about it. So let's listen in real quick.
Just in the last 3 weeks, Trey, the FBI has arrested and brought to justice, thanks to the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi, 3 top 10 of the FBI's most wanted. Let me just say that again. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of the FBI's most wanted top 10 are now in custody because of our relationships with folks like Director Ratcliffe and Secretary Hegseth and Rubio, and the list goes on. But we've also returned to justice in just 1 short week's time one of the architects of the Abbey Gate explosion that killed 13 of our service members. We did that in 1 week, flying through multiple countries and going into Pakistan and utilizing our liaison relationships and the leverage that we have thanks to great guys like Johnny Ratcliffe and getting a modicum of justice to the American people. And just to put that in perspective, those folks have been on the run for 4 years. And in the last 12 months before I got into this seat, Trey, do you know how many top 10 FBI's most wanted were arrested by the FBI? 0. That's the difference. Yeah. 4 weeks in, we got 3, and we're just warming up.
0 in the last 12 months before he got in, and they've gotten 3 so far. So, kind of an interesting statistic. Maybe people had different priorities. It's hard to say, but it is nice to see that some of these departments are doing what they're supposed to be doing and not just being political. So cheers for that. Bad guys being put away. Always a fan of that. All right, next up on the news, let's talk about this one. Everyone's favorite person to talk about, Elon Musk. He quoted this guy from Wall Street Mav, and it's talking about this judicial review about the judge telling the Justice Department what they can and can't do and when to where to fly planes. And basically it's someone saying, hey, it's illegal to fly a plane load of dangerous gang member criminals out of the country, but they don't say a word whenever they were flying in 300,000 illegal aliens into the country. So, and it said, why did the federal judges turn a blind eye to this? But now they are throwing a fit over an action to remove them. And just asking a question, how is this anything other than extremely partisan politics masquerading as jurisprudence? And it's a fair question to ask. So it makes it hard to see, why would you be so one way in some situations and so the other way in other situations? And if you look at that logically, it just doesn't line up with anything other than being political and stuff. And so what do you guys think about this story that's been going on? What do you think about these judges and universal injunctions and all that kind of stuff? Do you think those are legit? Do you think they're not legit? Let me know in the comments what you think. And there'll always be more news coming up in the future on this because it'll be in the news for a while. All right, and lastly, coming up on the news, this I do like. So the DoD has hired Sean Parnell. He is a former Army veteran. I've read his book. Actually read at least two of his books. I know he's written more than that. He is I don't remember what he was. Anyways, he was a platoon leader in Afghanistan, got injured. A lot of his troops got hurt and killed. And now he's back working in the PR department for the Army. But they started doing these weekly briefs online about what the DoD has done. And it's actually pretty cool because I actually work for the DoD and I get to hear about what we're actually doing. And you don't always get this kind of information from the top down. So here's what he said.
Welcome to the DoD's weekly sit rep. The Department of Defense delivered this week on President Trump and Secretary Hegseth's agenda. On Monday, we held our very first ever Pentagon press briefing to provide an update on the precision strikes against Iran-backed Houthi targets to protect American interest and restore freedom of navigation. On Tuesday, we welcome homed NASA astronauts and retired Navy Captain Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore, who were stranded in space for 9 months due to the previous administration's lack of urgency. Under this president and this secretary, we will do everything within our power to leave no one behind. Also this week, Secretary Hegseth signed a memo directing the termination of over $580 million in DoD contracts and grants that did nothing to advance our mission of deterring and winning wars. So far, the Pentagon, in collaboration with DOJ, has cut nearly $800 million in wasteful spending. And finally, as you all know, many of the executive orders signed by President Trump are being challenged in court. We are committed to making our military the greatest fighting force on the face of the earth. And as the Secretary has said, we will appeal these rulings, we will fight this lawfare, and we will win. That's all we got for you this week. Thank you for watching. God bless you all, and God bless this amazing country that we call home.
All right, so there you have it. There's the weekly update from the DoD PR department. So that's kind of cool. I think that's their third or second one that they've put out. They think they come out on Fridays. I don't remember exactly, but always kind of cool. I like Sean Parnell a lot, and just kind of neat to hear what they're doing. And so that's at least some transparency, more than we've gotten in the past. So that is what I've got for the news today on 4 Stories. We will go over more news next time, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few days. We'll see. So that's all I got for the news. All right. That is going to do it for today's episode. I want to say thank you for listening and hanging out with me. It's good times. Feel free to hit me up on the socials. Derek at derekcreason.com is the email address. At Derek Creason on X, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble. Check out my website, derekcreason.com, for the latest updates. All that kind of fun stuff. Check out my insiders community, the derekcreasonshow.locals.com. Go find my book on Amazon, 20-something. It's really cool. Check it out. That's going to do it for today. And we will see you guys next time. Later.